This is a letter to you, sitting at a red light right now, or to you, who'll be sitting at one in a few hours. It doesn't matter when, it's going to happen. You brake, the car stops, and before anything happens, before you think a single thought on purpose, something happens in your hand. Your thumb starts to travel. It lets go of the wheel and heads for the phone in the console, or the radio, or the mirror. You haven't decided anything yet. The hand already decided for you. I'd write to that hand, but it can't read, so I'm writing to you. It's about 40 seconds. A normal red light lasts somewhere between 30 and 60, and your body sort of knows that. So let's just say 40. 40 seconds where you, legally, unavoidably, can't go anywhere. And it isn't you holding the car still, it's the world. A red light, a rule, and the whole weight of a foot on the brake you don't even feel pressing anymore. And I want you to notice something before we go deeper. 40 seconds is a lot. You only think it's a little because you've never actually sat still inside it. Let me tell you what's happening in there, not out on the street, inside you. The second the car stops, your brain shifts. While you were driving, one network of regions was in charge. The part that solves the task, judges distance, watches the car ahead. That's work. That's focus pointed outward. Then the car stops, the task disappears, and that network steps back. Another one takes over. Scientists gave it a boring name, the default mode network. It's the network that switches on exactly when you're not doing anything with the world out there. It's your brain heading back home. And here's the strange part, the part nobody tells you. That default mode network is where you live. The memories, the plans, the conversations you're still going to have, and the ones you already had. What you think of yourself. It's the room where you exist as a person, not as a driver. And a red light is one of the very few times in the day the door to that room swings open on its own. Except you don't go in. You don't go in because, the instant the door opens, a discomfort shows up, small, almost nameless. A little itch of so now what? And the hand obeys that itch before you even register it's there. That's why the thumb was already moving. It wasn't reaching for a message. It was running from the silence. I know that sounds dramatic for something as dumb as grabbing your phone at a light. So let me show you it isn't just you. This is human, and serious people have measured it. There was a psychologist named Timothy Wilson who ran an experiment that sounds like a joke but is real, and came out in one of the most respected science journals in the world in 2014. He put people alone in an empty room. No phone, no book, nothing. One rule: sit for 6 to 15 minutes with your own thoughts. Just think. Beforehand, he gave them the option of a button. The button delivered an electric shock, a real one, not pleasant. The same people minutes earlier had said they'd pay money to never feel it again. And even so, alone with their own thoughts, a lot of them pressed the button. One man pressed it 190 times in 15 minutes. 190 shocks, for free, just to not sit quietly with his own head. Let that number sit for a second. People chose real pain over silence, not because their thoughts were terrible, but because doing nothing, with no stimulation at all, is one of the hardest things there is for a human being. Your brain treats the empty space like a problem to solve, and solving it to your brain means filling it. The phone at the light is your shock button, just a comfortable one. You don't press it to feel pain, you press it to not feel the emptiness. It's the same escape in nicer clothes. And look, if you're thinking, okay, but I just glance at it quick, it's no big deal. I get it. But there's a detail that changes everything. And this is where the light charges you a price you don't see. There's a researcher named Sophie Leroy who studied what happens to your attention when you switch from one thing to another too fast. She gave it a name: attention residue. The idea is simple and kind of cruel. When you drop one thing halfway to grab another, a piece of your attention stays stuck to the first thing. It doesn't all come with you. A residue stays behind. Think about what you do at the light. You stop the car, with the residue of traffic still stuck to you. You grab the phone, open a message. A new residue sticks. The light turns green, you drop the phone in a hurry, and now there's residue from the message stuck to you as you start driving again. You were never all the way present anywhere. You spent 40 seconds collecting half pieces of attention and rested from none of them. It was supposed to be a pause. It became one more switch. And that's what makes me want to write this letter. Because the world handed you for free a strange little gift, a moment where you're forced to produce nothing, and we've learned to hate that gift. We've learned that every gap has to be filled, that every empty space is wasted time, that if you're not doing something you're falling behind. But what if I told you those 40 seconds at the light might be the closest thing to real rest your whole day is going to hand you? Not couch rest, head rest, the one piece of the day where absolutely nothing is expected of you. You can't hurry the light, you can't outproduce the red. For the first time in hours, there's nothing to do. And that's not a flaw in the moment, that's the value of it. There's something the researchers of that default mode network found, and almost nobody talks about it. It's in these moments of apparent nothing that the brain does quiet, important work. It sorts, it connects. The ideas that seem to come out of nowhere in the shower, in line, at the light, they don't come out of nowhere. They come from exactly there, from that default mode that only switches on when you stop. You've had good ideas standing in line at the bank. You just never noticed it was the line that gave them to you. When you fill the light with the screen, you're not stealing time from boredom. You're stealing time from that quiet workshop. You're interrupting the one meeting of the day your mind schedules with itself. And I'm not asking you to have an epiphany in traffic. God, no. I just want you, once, to let the 40 seconds exist. No screen. No flipping the radio. No scanning the mirror looking for something to fix on your face. Just the red, the stopped car, your breathing, and the strangeness of not going anywhere. It'll be uncomfortable in the first few seconds. That so now what itch will show up. The hand will want to travel. Good. That discomfort is the sign you've reached the right place. It's the door opening. Stay, just a little. Because here's the thing I most wanted to tell you in this letter, and it's the simplest one. If sitting with your own head for 40 seconds feels hard for you, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a human being with a brain that evolved to hunt the next stimulus, living in a world that learned to sell stimulus in every empty second. The difficulty isn't a defect in you, it's proof that you're a person. And if this touched something, if you've ever felt that hand travel to the phone without your permission, do one thing for me. Tell me down in the comments what your red light is. The moment in the day when the world forces you to stop and you bolt on the spot. The line, the elevator, the water heating up for coffee. I read all of them, and there's something good in knowing we run from the same things. You'll see it isn't just you, it never was. It isn't just you. The driver in the car next to you is doing the exact same thing. Their thumb traveled too. We're a whole city of people running, at the same time, from the same small silence, each one inside their own car, thinking they're the only one who can't sit still. You're not alone at the red light. You're alone together with everyone. So, next time, and there will be a next time, probably today, when you brake and the red fills the windshield and your hand starts that old journey toward the console, maybe you'll catch it halfway, maybe you'll let it drift back to the wheel. And maybe, just for 40 seconds, you'll stay. You protion, we will say. Not to get better, not to become a more mindful person, no goal, just to see what's on the other side of the discomfort, in the room that opens when the car stops, and when the light turns green, because it always does, you'll go. Same as always. But maybe with that strange, good feeling of having visited a place that was there the whole time, every single day, waiting for you to stop running for 40 seconds. The light will change. You'll move forward. That part doesn't change. The question that stays with you, the only one this letter has, is this. How many rooms have you already driven past, your whole life, with the door open right beside you, and your hand traveling to the phone before you ever looked inside?